What's good, traders? Welcome to another day in the bootcamp. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe. If you'd like to join my community, make sure you click the link in the description below. And today, guys, we're going to be just talking about how, and it might sound a bit weird, but how you shouldn't be trading every single day. And a lot of traders are thinking, but if you have a profitable strategy, why wouldn't I trade every single day and make maximum profit? Well, guys, unfortunately, that doesn't work. That's not always the case. And as a trader, you need to understand this. Now, there are factors that can make your low probability trade become a high probability trade. And we're going to go through it today. What determines a high probability trade or high probability setup? And a lot of you guys will be trading and you don't take note of these things. And then what's going to happen is you're going to end up losing and eating up the profits that you could be having in your pocket. And I've gone through it many times where I've scaled an account and eventually like I've lost money because I just traded on setups that wasn't even high probability. And comment down below, guys, if you've gone through that where you've traded, you had a great fantastic trade, and you go for that next trade and the next trade wasn't even that great and you just wish you never even hopped on that market, right? And that moment right there, you need to think, okay, why did I place that trade? Why did I want to make more money? Well, most of the time it's because of your ego. Most of the time is because of your pride. You've just hit a good trade and you want to continue. So I've put in some foundations for myself where it's like, okay, if this happens, I am not trading. So for me, higher time frames is key, guys. Like, it doesn't matter what's happening on the 1 minute, 5 minute, 50 minutes. It literally doesn't matter. The higher time frames matter. Now, because I'm a day trader, like I like to hold my trades within the day or maybe more than a day sometimes, but I like to hold my trades for just around more than a few hours, let's just say. So the daily time frame is the time frame that holds the most value. So for example, if my daily bias is bearish and then I scale into like a lower time frame and it's showing me that we're bearish, I am not going to trade that pair. Why? Because what will happen is I am probably in between a retracement and I don't know target. When there's retracements, you don't really know targets and you end up forcing trades. So for me, my daily bias has to match my lower time frames. That is always the case. So usually when I wake up, I'm already on the call with the Discord and I have like a morning session with them and we go about our day and we talk about, the pairs that we're looking at, which one has a good daily bias, which one, correlates and where we could see a potential setup. So for example, over here, you can see on this pair, like we're pretty much bearish, right? We're pretty much bearish in the setup. And it's very hard to find good example, guys, because we are near the end of the year and, near the end of the year, the market is very choppy. It's not really doing any direction. But over here, you can see we're quite bearish. And then when you scale in, you can actually see right here, the 4 hours is bearish. The 2 hours is quite bearish. The 1 hour is quite bearish. So it's like, this is a pair that I would trade. Why? Because, you can clearly see that the daily is bearish. So meaning that we are going to continue this downtrend. And obviously it is the new year, so most likely won't happen. This is all hypothetical, but I know that from here, and we can actually see we have that evening star from here. Most likely we could potentially break this level of structure and continue to go to the downside. However, if price, just for example purposes, I'll even try and find a pair for you guys. Okay, let's have a look at this. So on the daily over here, you can see we're quite bullish, right? Quite bullish. However, we scale to a lower time frame. You can see that we've actually tested these lows and most likely price could be going downwards, right? This is just hypothetical, right? It's very, again, like I said, it's very hard to find a setup because it is the end of the year. But let's just say now the 4-hour chart is giving me a bearish signal on, sorry, the 1-hour chart's giving me a bearish signal, but the daily's giving me a bullish signal. I'm not going to trade that setup because their time frames are not correlating. So when you are looking for buyers or you are looking for sales, you most likely would get swept by liquidity or by other traders, or just, but the markets might just be moving choppy. And so that's why it's very, very key to know that you don't have to trade every single day. And I've noticed in my 5 years of trading, the market only gives you like 1 to 2 A+ setups a week, okay? You might have a good week where every single day is an A plus setup, but you're not gonna have that every time. And there's some weeks, guys, I don't trade. That doesn't make me a bad trader. It just makes me understand that I'm actually a good analyst, because if I see the markets and it's not in my favor, and most of you have it in your gut, your gut's literally screaming to you, the markets is not great, don't trade it. But because you're so money hungry, you are trying to force a setup, and that's what gives you that low probability setup, and that's what makes you scared of the markets. If you are looking at a market as an analyst and you're saying, okay, have, let's say, buying opportunities right here, right? This area right here, huge buying opportunities for me. Well, the market's not at that area. Yes, I could sell right now and potentially come to this area, but what if price doesn't come to this area? Well, that's fine, because for me as a trader, I've learned I'd rather be patient than be trading and not actually seeing good profits, or forcing a one-to-one trade when I'm usually going for a 1-to-3. So guys, making sure that you have your daily bias correlating with your lower time frames. If it's not, just don't trade for that day. Secondly, it's okay not to trade every single day. The best traders out there, guys, they don't trade every single day. Why? Because they know the market is not going to be moving nicely every single day. So even if you just see a setup once or twice a week, you have, let's say, a 1-to-3 risk to ratio, you can potentially, if you are risking 1% per trade, be closing a week with 6%. 6% growth in a week is amazing. And so when you do that, you're cutting down the losses that you have. And majority of us actually don't realize that we're profitable traders. The only reason why you're not profitable is because you are focusing so much on finding setups, finding moves every single day, you're actually eating up your own profits. Like, you might have had a great week. And usually what I like to do is, like, if I had a good day, let's say I'll place a trade, hit profit, done, I'm done for the day. I'm not going to look for another setup. Even though I am a profitable trader, even though I'm confident with my strategy, I'm not going to go and trade another setup if I've had a good day. Like, if I had a good day, what's the point? I'm good for the day. I don't need to trade anymore, and I'll just come in the next day. And sometimes, like, if it's a Thursday and I'm still not seeing moves, I'm not going to trade on the Friday, because there's no point. Friday is just is moving for Monday traders, and there's no point, guys, right? So making sure, like, you don't really need to trade every single day. Like, every trader has their own different ways, but one thing I noticed with successful traders is they don't trade every single day. It gets boring, and you end up eating up the profits that you've made, the hard work that you've put in. And that's actually the good thing about trading. Like, when we start up as a trader, a lot of us want to, like, you know, have that freedom. We want to do whatever we like. But then as soon as we look at the markets, we get to a level where it's like we want to trade every single day. We want to trade every hour of the day. And in reality, guys, it's not actually going to be the case. Like, every single day is going to be different. Every single day is, it might be choppy on a Monday, it might be choppy on a Wednesday. And so you need to find a sweet spot. For me, guys, like, I'll be honest, like, from my data, the best trading days for me is like Tuesday and Thursdays. Don't know why. Thursdays, I always, is news days. So Thursday is probably going to be better. But Tuesday to Thursdays are like my best day. Monday and Friday are like my worst days, because Monday, we've just started off the week. We're going to have a lot more volatility, and market could be choppy, or it kind of sets pace for the week. But yeah, you shouldn't really be trading every single day. And then secondly, like, if you go for a low probability setup and the market didn't go in your favor, don't blame the markets. Don't blame your system. Have some accountability. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it took me a very, very long time to actually realize that it's not the market's fault, it's not my system's fault, it's my fault. Because we have a setup, right? We have a system. Then we have the markets, and then we have ourselves. And we believe that, everything is going to be great. Everything is going to be amazing. We have a system, we have the markets, we now have the capital, i.e. prop firms and things like that. Everything is going to be smooth. But that's not the case, guys. That's not the case. Why is that not the case? Because here comes me or you, and we then put our emotions in, and we put our psychology, we ruin everything. And then suddenly we end up losing the capital, or losing our prop firms, or losing as a trader. So even if you have the best system, you need to realize that sometimes it's your fault. Like honestly, guys, like it took me a while. Like I think in my first year, I genuinely every time I'd hit a loss, I'd be like, oh, it's just the market's fault. Oh, it's a December, you know? Like for example, with me, like I know the last week of December, there is going to be a very horrible week. Like you can literally see over here. This is the last week of December. I'm just gonna go on a daily time frame. Like, look at the markets. Like it hasn't moved. It's literally just been choppy from here to here, right? This is the last week of December. And obviously the first week of January as well, bit shaky. So I know that based on my data, and also based on just looking at prehistorical data and looking at like the just every year how it goes. So because of that, I know. So now if I trade during that period, is it the market's fault? Not really. It's not the market's fault. It's my fault, because if I was a good trader, if I was a successful trader, profitable trader, I would know to hold my profits. I would know that I will not trade. So, like, even for me, I think last week I saw potential moves, but I wasn't confident with the moves, and I ended my week with a profit. So I was like, what's the point of forcing more trades? I want to end my year off with a profit, so I'm not going to trade. And so that actually helped me, because the trades we were looking at with the Discord server, they weren't profitable trades. They were in profit, but they weren't profitable. So it was a good relief actually for me. And I actually noticed like I think in my second year and third year, I noticed that there's certain trades that I would have taken that I don't take anymore. And even now, like I notice it all the time. Like there's trades literally that I would have taken and it would have hit my stop loss, but I just don't take it anymore. And the reason why is, you could say experience, but I think it's actually more patience and more discipline. As a trader, we're not disciplined and we don't have any patience because our money's on the line. When our money's on the line, we don't have that patience anymore. We want things to roll quick. Why? Because you've put the money as fast as possible into the markets with a click of a button. You've put your money into the markets. Now, basically, with a click of a button, you want to, have that return. But that's not the case. And so trading is like an investment. Trading is like a business. You're not going to get returns maybe in your first year, maybe not even your second year, but eventually you will. And so you need to realize that actually trading every single day is not that great. And I've seen like majority traders, even my Discord server, like they started to realize that trading every single day is not that great. And when they do hit profit, let's say they hit profit on a Wednesday, if they don't see a move on Thursday, there's no point trading for the week. Even if there was a move on Friday, it is what it is. And I'm a patient trader now, and sometimes I could be a little bit too patient. And I've noticed that. Like I've noticed that I have been a bit too patient with trades and I should have just executed, which is also a bad thing as well. You don't want to be too patient, but you want to be keeping a balance of being a little bit greedy and being a little bit patient. Like having those two balanced, it's amazing. It's an amazing skill, guys. And we're like day 48 in the boot camp. And so most of you already have a good strategy. Most of you already have a good system. Most of you already have the right mindset. Now is just time. Time is going to tell you what is going to happen with your trading journey. Literally, it's time. So don't force anything. Hold yourself accountable, making sure that the daily bias is correlating, or the higher time frame is correlating with the lower time frame. If you see in previous videos as well, I'd always have on the top right, I would always have like around over here, I'd always have like the biases. I don't do it all the time, but especially if I'm with the Discord server, I definitely try and put the biases. So even my Discord server, they know that okay, we're not looking at gold today because gold's bearish, but the lower time frame is looking bullish. I'm going to wait until the lower time frame becomes bullish, and then I'm going to trade. That gives us a high probability trade, and it just gives us more advantage. Like if I told you guys do this and it gives you more advantage, you should be doing it. Don't do things that put you at a disadvantage. For example, time frame biases. If you're going to trade and it's putting you at a disadvantage, why would you go and do that, right? Like why? And so building that resilience to not always trade is actually a better skill, and it takes time, guys. You're not just going to be able to just like stare at the market and be like, okay, today's not a good day. Like it takes experience. It takes a lot of back testing to understand that okay, I've seen this move before. It's a fake out. I'm not going to get faked out, and I'm going to continue trading. And I remember watching a video about it was this old trader, I don't even know his name, and he literally said that you want to do what other traders don't do. So, for example, if you see like a very, very clear setup that every single trader will do, and if you back test it and you've seen that this happens and it fakes a lot of traders out, sometimes just waiting and being patient will be able to make you a better trader. Because remember, the markets is against you, prop firms are against you, everyone is against you. So, you want to take advantage, like literally you want to basically be so good at trading that no one would even see you come out of, like, you literally come out of nowhere. Like, that's how it is. Like, sometimes I place trades and everyone's like, why did you place a buy here? And I explain to them and I'm like, this is how I place the buy, the daily buys, da, 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 da. And they're like, oh my days, why didn't I see that? Why didn't you see it? It's because you're a rookie trader and I'm experienced and I've back tested and I've seen that, this is where the market is. And so putting my experience and my backtesting data together has helped me understand that there's certain moves which I might be able to see, but rookies won't be able to see, right? Or I would say less experienced traders won't be able to see. However, sometimes, I've seen a lot of less experienced traders see a position and I didn't see it. And it's like, oh, wow, okay, cool. And it ends up working. So I would say experience is definitely a huge factor in trading, but I'll definitely say like backtesting, building resilience, being disciplined, following a system, and making sure you only trade high probability trades. If you trade a low probability trade or anything below high, hold yourself accountable. Like, look, hey, I didn't have to take this trade, I did, or just lower your lot size. Like, do one or the other, but if it hits your loss, hold yourself accountable first. Like, the market, it can never be the market's fault. Like, honestly, guys, it can never, the market moves with or without you. Like, honestly, it's something that I really had to understand. Like, sometimes I'll be like, oh, but if I don't trade today, the market's gonna move, and like I'll have that mindset. But then when I'm trading, it's like, oh, it's the market's fault. I should have entered. It gave me a fake out. I fell for it. Wow, whoa, whoa, whoa. But reality is always gonna be your fault. If you hit a loss, it's always your fault. If you blow your account, it's actually your fault. I know it sounds harsh, but guys, you need to hear it as a trader. Like, you actually have to hear it, because if you don't hear it from me, you're going to hear it from yourself and you're going to keep blowing accounts until you realize that actually this is my fault and I need to just change something. And doing that will help you as a trader, guys. So try and follow these things, try and understand not to trade every single day. And don't listen to the traders online that say, oh, what if he had a good setup, if he has a good system, why wouldn't he leverage and trade every single day? That's not how trading works. Trading is not about the quantity, it's about the quality of your trades. And this is where rookie traders or internet traders differ from the real life traders, the traders that actually make an income or a living with the markets, because you don't actually have to trade every single day. There's days literally where I'll be sitting watching the markets. Like, I look at the markets, but I just don't trade. I literally just say, you know what, I'm not trading today. Why? Because my daily bias is different. Like, simple. And doing that has helped me so much, guys. It's actually made me progress much faster, which sounds weird because you, as a trader, you think that the more trades you take, the better, but it's actually the less trades, the more quality trades you take, the better. And I've actually progressed. I think in the last 6 months, I made more than I made in the past 2, 3 years, just because I've been way more patient. And also because I've been a bit more busier. So it's actually kind of helped me. But I've been way more patient and it's really, really helped me, guys. So yeah, try and do that. Try and really stay resilient. Don't let the markets, like, don't fall for the traps. And because you've been watching this bootcamp for a while now, so you guys, I have confidence that you guys will be able to watch this video and understand and just get right into the markets and understand that, I am patient, understand that, I'm not going to trade every single day. I'm going to look at the daily bias. I'm going to look at the higher time frames, see if it correlates with the lower time frames. And if it doesn't, then I'm not going to trade. And just being patient, sometimes letting the market do its thing is way better than, trading and hitting losses. And I always tell the Discord server as well that I'd rather see a setup and not make money than see a setup and lose money. Okay, because sometimes, like, and I know a lot of traders be like, oh, but if you didn't place a trade, it doesn't count. Well, it does. And the reason why it counts is because that's still data. Yes, you didn't execute, but you can still put in your journal, did not execute, however it went in my favor. So what is this trade like? Well, in this specific trade, I didn't execute. It's the same thing, guys, literally the same thing. I did not execute. However, the trade went in my favor and I'm going to understand why. So once you do that, you're still building data. And most of us as a trader, it just flies over our head like, oh, he didn't place a trade, so that trade doesn't count. Well, if it went in your favor, it kind of does, because trades are not always going to be a monetary gained trade. Some trades are literally going to be you just, okay, if I would trade, I'll potentially trade right now, sell here. I'll see what the market does. I don't really see it as a high probability trade, but let's just see. If it loses, I still put it in the system. I'll say, I did not trade. It was a loser. I actually didn't trade because I felt like it was going to lose anyways. And then now I'm building data based on even the trades I didn't take. Imagine how more advanced you're going to be than the traders that just ignore the trades that they would have taken. Imagine that, guys. Like, you are way more advanced now, because the people that neglect the data that the market gives you, those are the people that are going to neglect going further. You can fast forward by doing this, so you're already going to be 1,000 trades ahead of other people. Now, I'm not saying, guys, oh, go on a lower time frame and start placing, if trades. No, do it in real time. Like, say to yourself, okay, in this moment, looking at this, looks like it's forming a double top, whatever, I'm gonna go to sell. However, because the daily bias is bullish, and we're trying to sell, we're trying to go against the daily bias, I'm not gonna like actually physically take this trade. And also, it's a 1 to 1.8 risk to ratio, so I don't want to take this trade. However, I'm just gonna let this trade run out and see what happens. We go have a look at the trade, it does its move, boom, it hits take profit, right? Let's just say it did this, goes, hits take profit. Then what do I do? Okay, I put it in my trading journal. I'll say, cool. I didn't place this trade, I didn't execute. However, I had an idea. I let it play out, didn't make any money. And this is what happened. Why didn't I have the confidence to trade? Well, it's because I was going against my rules. Okay, that's fine. At least you understand. And then if price does end up just going here, you can still put in your system. Look, I saw an idea, didn't execute, and it did actually didn't go in my favor. And the reason why I didn't go in my favor is because of me being against my daily bias. Doing that just increases your journal way more, because now you're not actually losing money or gaining money, but you're actually still gaining some sort of data. So this is what's going to help you so much, guys. Like, your journal has to be jam packed. You don't just put in your journal like trades you've taken once in a while. Like, jam pack this journal. This journal is yours, by the way, so it's like you can do whatever with this journal. No one's looking at this journal, and I wouldn't even share the journal, because the journal is where all your mistakes happen. So this is where you are going to craft, I don't know if you guys are, journaling right now, but when you do journal, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to look beautiful. It doesn't have to look like amazing, eye aesthetic. It doesn't have to be like, it could be messy as hell. As long as you understand it, it's totally fine, guys. Okay. So that's pretty much it. Like, I don't really have much more to say when it comes to, not taking trades every single day. I hope you guys do understand that. And we're getting close to the end of the boot camp, guys. So I hope you guys are pumped and continue trading, and don't give up, guys. Literally, honestly, don't give up. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And I'll probably see you in the next day of the boot camp. See you later, guys.